Hi, and welcome to a continued instruction on the budget worksheet that you could have downloaded from my teacher drive. If you didn't do that, please go back and watch the video on the intro on how to get it. All right, and so now we're going to focus on our worksheet trainer and how to use it and how it can be so beneficial. All right, so if you see, we have a section that is blue and a section that is purple. The section that is blue is the practice or estimates. Remember how you have this part of the worksheet, this practice page? So this is taking that information and putting it on into action. So if you look, so as you started on the practice, you had to put in a percentage of what you think you would spend. And so for mine, I chose 20%. So I just put in 20% where it says pick a percentage, and I click enter. And if you look, it calculates for you. So, and this is again, how you can also use this budget worksheet is to help you make sure that your numbers are correct. So if you look, you have 7,555, okay, and then 630. Again, here this just may be a rounding issue, and then I can multiply it by 2, and it gives me a shopping number of 1258. Okay, now if I go to job 2, I can do the same thing. I'm going to scroll up. I can here put in 20%, okay, and now I have 9,172, 764, and my shopping number 1529, 1528. So we're good. So again, I have my numbers, they are correct. Now, okay, if you have found your house, all right, this is what you do. All right, let me go into, because I have found a house. Let's see, I have job 1 house. Okay, and this says my payment is $826 a month. Okay, so we should have this highlighted. Right, it's going to have to run through something real quick, but all right, so I'm going to go back to mine and put in, so my monthly payment is, okay, so I have found a house that I like. Okay, and so on here, the scenario, now the thing that you want to do is make sure that you get as low of a down payment, because just as part of the requirement for the jobs or for this project. So here it says 1,010 a month. Okay, so that's what I enter for my house. So 1,010. Okay, here I've added 10% and then divided it by 2 because of being married. So it gives me my yearly payment and then 18%. Now my percentage that I had predicted was 20%, and if I'm off more than 5%, then I need to find a new house. Now and so 18% is within 2, so we're good. Now, the problem that I had with when I printed it is that it changed the payment amount. So not a big deal. All you need to do is you cross off what they wrote and just write what your payment was on the screen, because of making sure that we're within 18%. Had I used this number, it would have been only 14%. But like I said, I do have this calculated. So that is the job. I'm sure that I have the right information for my job. So now we're going to continue. So if we look at job 2, I'm going to stick with job 1. Okay. Now we're going to go down to transportation. Okay. So for transportation, also, so you want to make sure you just put in the percentage here, so it would have been 18%, 6,600, 550. Okay, now it's just make sure you are filling in these blanks. All right, so again, we're going to do transportation for job 1. So again, for your house, you do the same exact thing, but just make sure you're on tab for job 2. All right, so job 1, I chose 17% is my total, or how much my car is going to cost. So it gets me $6,432,535. And the cool thing that Mr. Shivnan did was put in this how much you can afford. So consider that you can probably afford a car about $17,000 based on 17%. So let's see, I had found a car. Let's see, where's my job? Okay, car 1. All right, so I went a little bit more, so I have $19,700 for a 2010 Ford Mustang. And so now I'm going to take, okay, so here is my payment. Okay, see, I'll use my tool here. Okay, so here's my payment. And I mean, I'm sorry, my total that my car is. So to figure out my payment, again, I go back here, and we need to put number of thousands borrowed. Now, so if you look at that, it's 19,700. We always have to round up when we're trying to calculate this. So the number of thousands I would need to borrow is 20. And I'm going to type in 20. Okay, this is a used car, so if it was new, I'd put 17, but because it's used, I'm going to put 21. And I click enter. So that gives me my payment. All right, I've also already gone through the insurance process, and it gives me, it's $164.88. Again, I'll just round up and say 165. Okay, so my total payment's $585, and oops, I just gotta fix this calculation. All right, so 19%. Again, I'm within 2% of my original total. So if you, so I can write those in, and let's see where. So I put borrowed 20, put in 21 for the multiplier, 420 plus 165 for car insurance, 585. It's 585 here. I have 7,020 for job 1 and 19% of my income. Again, so this, you can check your numbers, make sure you have it correct. Make sure you're filling in the blanks on this budget worksheet. All right, so the last thing I need to do, and again, for the car, you would repeat it for job 2. But we just want to get through, so then, all right, education. So remember, you figured out the cost of your education. All right, so for mine, a year would cost $6,964. This is my 2-year degree, so I would times it by 2, and I click enter. So I have my monthly is $139, and yearly is $1,671, and that's 4% of my income. All right. So then this is the rest of the boxes. So here you had done just a practice calculation of entertainment, and so you can just check and make sure. So I put in 9% like I did here already. And let's see, so it calculates a little different. So I would need to check my numbers over here. So I may have made a mistake on there. So this is where it gets complicated if you were to do this on your own, because you have to spend all of your money. All right. So, but this will make it a lot easier. What you're going to do is that, okay, so if we go to the budget sheets, okay? So the budget sheets that look like this are your final numbers, okay? So you really don't want to just kind of do these until you know for sure whatever all your numbers are. All right, so you write in your job. This is like I would write in that. All right, so building inspector. It's a 2-year degree. I have 0 children. This isn't applicable. And I am married. All right, so again, I would copy in my median wage, 49 or 40. I should know this. 49,800. That was right. 49,800. Total taxes. I can just go back to that taxes worksheet. All right, so my total taxes was 12,027. I then subtract and I get 37,73. Okay, I don't have children, so that's, and then so then that 37,73 comes down. All right, so my after-tax income, 37,773. Okay, here I need to make sure I fill in my blanks, and then I fill in my actual numbers. So here, what I wanted to pull off for the job 1 is that is the suggested. This is kind of where we want those numbers to be. It really is kind of what you need to have. Like I said, you can't skimp on food. Everybody, it is a requirement that you really have food, and so we want you to be within some very kind of close to these numbers. So I'm just going to put in 11%. Okay, for household and expenses, that includes furniture and stuff like that. I'll put in 13% for food. And now I'm going to, okay, so transportation. All right, this reminds me, anything in purple you do not change. Those are based on your actual houses that you have. So please do not change those. And the pink you want to save till last, and I'll explain that. Healthcare, 5%. Clothing, I'll just put 5 for now. And then I've already done 9% for entertainment. Okay, so I have 9, 5, and then miscellaneous. I will put 9%. Okay, so I haven't spent 100%, but I'm close to 100%. Now, this right here, down here, this box here, this number has to be 0 for your project to be correct. Okay, so this is why we say save the pink for last. So if I take this number, okay, once I basically gotten close to 100%, I can take this number and put 2774, enter. Now I have spent 100% of my income. And so I'm at 100%, and I've spent all of this. And so now all I have to do is copy this in. This is how you get a perfect project, perfect numbers, this can help you. So please think about using this. Also, if this becomes negative, you've spent too much money. So you don't want this little box to become negative. But that is how you use this project, or how you use this Excel spreadsheet. And you're going to redo the same thing for part 2, for job 2.